and thank you so much for tuning in to Carly B TV. I'm Dr. Carlisha Booz. Christmas is just days away, and for some people, they dread the holidays due to depression and grief from losing a loved one. So this morning, we're talking to Bruce Kahn. He's a marriage and family therapist, and he's going to talk about ways people can deal with depression during the holidays. Thank you so much for coming on, Bruce.
Happy to be with you.
Thank you. Thank you. So just to start us off, what is depression?
Well, there's different levels of it. It can be a clinical diagnosis that we consider essentially a disease process to situational depression, and even grief will fit into the description of depression.
Okay. What are some symptoms of depression if an individual doesn't know that they're depressed? What are some symptoms we can look for?
Well, you'd start with moodiness, being down or blue or sad. Sometimes irritability is part of that symptomology. And then there's lack of interest, trouble sleeping, trouble with concentration, problems with weight gain or weight loss. And then, of course, there might be suicidal ideation, passive ideas, or even more active ideas.
Okay. Now, when you talk about suicidal, we've heard in the past that depression can kill. Can you just briefly just talk about that? Is it with the suicide or just over time, the weakening of, maybe your heart because you've always down? Talk about that for us.
Sure. Well, we all consider things like heart disease and cancer to be very serious. And we need to take depression seriously. Most commonly, we think of people dying from depression as an act of suicide, but the withdrawal, the isolation, the lack of functioning that comes as a part of depression can lead to that hopelessness that can be just debilitating.
Okay. Now, during the holidays, especially Christmas, which is a couple days away, what do you recommend? What are some coping mechanisms that you would recommend that people can take during the holidays just to stay in tune with friends who want to be around them?
Dr. Carly, that is such an important thing for us to think about and talk about. We need to be intentional about this time of year that there's less light, and we need to be able to get outside. These shadows of the brightness of the holiday seems to deepen the sense of depression or grief. And so being intentional about getting outside and doing things, calling friends, making plans, taking the risk of inviting somebody to come over and to maybe help you with a project. We just need to pay attention to being connected and being active.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So do you believe when people are left, a tenant just want to be alone, that makes matters worse?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We are, as a species, we're designed to be connected, to be involved with each other. And as we withdraw, that's a sign that there's a problem. So noticing it for yourself that you want to be more avoidant or withdrawn, that's something to notice, or noticing it in a friend that they are pulling back somehow. Would be a good time to just to name that and say, I'm concerned and let's do something together.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. Last question, it almost slipped my mind. So,
Sure.
um, what do you recommend just on a daily, not just the holidays, on a
Yeah.
daily, what can they do? Would you say exercise or just to try to, you know, have a better grip of
Yeah.
their
I,
depression?
yeah, but like we understand what physical health means, how we take care of ourselves physically. We need to think the same way about our mental health, that we take care of ourselves mentally. And that's by being engaged, staying involved with people, staying physically active, and really paying attention to our thoughts, that we focus more on healthy thoughts, positive thoughts, and staying away from the negative or more destructive kind of ways of thinking. We can actually work on thinking positively.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Bruce, for just addressing this. And I hope this helped many people as the holiday season continues to approach. So thank you so much.
Nice to be with you today.
Thanks.